Your grandmother made it every Thursday. You ate it without thinking. You never wrote down the recipe. And now, it's gone. The 1970s were the golden age of Canadian home cooking. Ground beef was the workhorse of every kitchen in the country. Cheap, filling, and endlessly versatile. From the prairie farmhouses of Saskatchewan to the suburbs of Montreal and the row houses of Halifax, Canadian moms fed entire families on 1 pound of beef and whatever was in the pantry. But somewhere between the rise of fast food, the invention of meal kits, and the obsession with elevated cooking, an entire generation of recipes simply vanished. These weren't just dinners. They were rituals. The smell of a casserole bubbling in the oven, the sound of a pot simmering on the back burner, the particular joy of a weeknight meal that cost almost nothing and tasted like everything. Today we're bringing back 10 of those recipes, the ones that disappeared from Canadian kitchens and deserve to be remembered. And trust me, by the time we get to number 1, you'll be heading straight to the grocery store. 10. Grape jelly cocktail meatballs. The party dish nobody makes anymore. In the 1970s, no church basement potluck, no office Christmas party, and no family gathering was complete without a slow cooker full of these. Ground beef meatballs simmered in equal parts grape jelly and chili sauce. 2 ingredients that should have no business being in the same pot together, and yet somehow created one of the most addictive sauces of the entire decade. The combination sounds strange today. Grape jelly on meatballs? But the science works perfectly. The jelly's sweetness balanced the tangy heat of the chili sauce into something almost caramel-like, coating every meatball in a rich, glossy glaze. Every Canadian household had a version of this recipe. Some used cocktail sauce instead of chili sauce. Some added a splash of Worcestershire. The meatballs went into the slow cooker in the morning, and by the time guests arrived, the whole house smelled like a dinner party. They didn't disappear because they stopped tasting good. They disappeared because somewhere in the 1990s we all decided they were too retro. That was a mistake. 9. Salisbury steak with brown onion gravy. The dinner that predates every TV dinner. Before Stouffer's put it in a box, Salisbury steak was something Canadian mothers made from scratch on weeknights. A seasoned ground beef patty, shaped into an oval, seared until golden, and then finished in a rich brown onion gravy served over mashed potatoes. The name comes from Dr. James Henry Salisbury, a 19th century American physician who promoted ground beef as a health food. By the 1970s, it had become a staple across North America, including in Canadian homes where it represented the perfect weeknight balance. It felt substantial and special, but it used inexpensive ground beef and pantry ingredients. The homemade version, real beef broth, real onions slowly caramelized in the pan drippings, a whisked roux to thicken the gravy, was miles better than anything that came in a frozen tray. The patties were mixed with breadcrumbs, Worcestershire sauce, and egg, shaped by hand, seared hard to get that dark crust, then nestled into the gravy to finish cooking. It gave the whole house a smell that said, "Somebody loves you enough to cook." We traded it for fast food. What a loss. 8. Beef and noodle casserole with cream of mushroom soup. The one that fed every Canadian family in the 1970s. Walk into any Canadian kitchen in 1974, and you had a very good chance of finding this in the oven. Ground beef browned with onions, mixed with cooked egg noodles, a can of cream of mushroom soup thinned with a splash of milk, topped with shredded cheddar and baked until bubbly. This was not a recipe that required much skill. It required ground beef, egg noodles, 1 can of Campbell's cream of mushroom soup, and a block of cheddar. That was it, and it fed 4 people for almost nothing. The genius of it was in the texture. The noodles absorbed the creamy mushroom sauce as it baked, the cheese formed a golden crust on top, and every forkful was simultaneously soft and rich and deeply, deeply satisfying. Food historians note that the use of canned condensed soup as a cooking ingredient, popularized heavily in the 1960s and 70s, created an entirely new category of North American home cooking. Campbell's even printed recipes directly on the can labels. For millions of Canadian families, this casserole was dinner. Today, it's mostly forgotten. Not because it wasn't delicious, but because cooking from scratch became fashionable, and the humble can of soup got left behind. 7. Porcupine meatballs. The recipe with the best name in Canadian cooking history. The name alone deserves a spot on this list. Porcupine meatballs are ground beef and uncooked long-grain rice mixed together, rolled into balls, and simmered in tomato soup until the rice cooks right inside the meat, the ends of the rice grains poking out through the beef like tiny quills. Hence, porcupine meatballs. The recipe first became popular during the Great Depression, when stretching a small amount of beef with rice was a matter of necessity, not creativity. By the 1970s, it had become a beloved comfort food across Canada, especially popular with children who loved both the name and the texture. A confirmed Canadian version of the recipe appeared in handwritten recipe collections and community cookbooks across the country. Ground beef, rice, onion, salt, pepper, a can of tomato soup, a half can of water. That's 7 ingredients. Mix the beef and rice, roll into balls, pour the tomato soup and water over them. Cover and bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for an hour and a half. The result was tender, slightly sweet from the tomato, with a unique spongy soft texture from the rice-stuffed beef. It was strange and wonderful and unlike anything else, and it's almost completely vanished from the Canadian dinner table. Every few years, someone posts about it online, and the comments fill up with people saying, "My grandmother made this. I thought I was the only one who remembered." 6. Stuffed green peppers. The complete meal in a vegetable, before grain bowls, before stuffed squash, before every wholesome vessel trend of modern food culture, there were stuffed green peppers, and Canadian home cooks were making them perfectly in the 1970s. The classic version was simple: green bell peppers hollowed out and filled with a mixture of browned ground beef, cooked rice, diced tomatoes, and onion, then topped with tomato sauce and baked in a covered dish at 350 degrees Fahrenheit until the pepper was tender and the filling was piping hot. Stuffed peppers have appeared in North American cookbooks since the 1890s, but they reached peak Canadian household popularity through the 1950s, 60s, and 70s. The Betty Crocker cookbook, which sat on the counter of nearly every English Canadian kitchen, featured the recipe prominently. What made the 1970s version distinctly Canadian was its simplicity. No fancy spices, no cheese melted on top, no deconstructed presentation. Just a bright green pepper, full to the brim with beef and rice, sitting in a pool of tomato sauce. Self-contained, satisfying. A complete dinner in a single edible bowl. They fell out of fashion as green peppers got a reputation for being bitter, and bell peppers in general became associated with health food rather than comfort food. Today the dish is making small comebacks, but most people under 40 have never eaten one the original way. 5. Ground beef stroganoff. When Canada's favorite Russian dish got affordable, the original beef stroganoff, thin strips of sautéed beef in a sour cream sauce, served over egg noodles, has Russian roots going back to the 19th century. By the time it reached Canadian kitchens in the 1960s and 70s, home cooks had done something genius. They swapped the expensive cuts of beef for ground beef, cut the prep time in half, and made it a weeknight staple. Ground beef browned with onions and mushrooms, mixed with sour cream, a splash of Worcestershire sauce, and beef broth served over wide egg noodles. 30 minutes, one pan, maximum comfort. The 1970s version often used a packet of onion soup mix as seasoning, a shortcut that was genuinely clever, delivering layered umami flavor without any additional fuss. It was a meal that felt vaguely sophisticated. It had a French-sounding name. It used sour cream, while being completely accessible to any home cook. The dish went into decline as people began using more complex sauces and avoiding sour cream for health reasons in the 1980s and 90s. The cream of mushroom soup version also became popular, a baked casserole adaptation that was equally delicious and even easier to make. Both versions have mostly disappeared. Both deserve to come back. 4. Ukrainian cabbage rolls, holubtsi, the Prairie Kitchen's greatest contribution to Canadian food. This one isn't just a recipe, it's Canadian history. When Ukrainian immigrants began arriving in Canada's prairie provinces in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, they brought their culinary traditions with them, and few dishes became more deeply embedded in Canadian prairie culture than holubtsi. Cabbage leaves stuffed with ground beef, rice, and onion, then covered in tomato sauce or tomato soup and baked for hours until the cabbage was silky and the filling was completely tender. The name holubtsi or holubchi translates from Ukrainian as little pigeons. In Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and Alberta, making cabbage rolls was a communal event, particularly around Christmas and Easter. Grandmothers made dozens at a time. The process took most of the day. The 1970s Prairie Kitchen version used a combination of ground beef and ground pork, seasoned simply with salt, pepper, and onion, rolled into cabbage leaves, softened by parboiling, and baked covered in canned tomato soup for 2 to 3 hours. The long, slow bake was the secret, turning what could have been a dense, heavy dish into something almost melting in its tenderness. Today, fewer young Canadians make them from scratch. The process is time-consuming. The skill of rolling the leaves properly takes practice. But the flavor is irreplaceable, and the cultural significance, particularly in Western Canada, is enormous. Anyone who grew up in a Ukrainian-Canadian family in the 1970s will tell you, you can't replicate what comes out of that oven after 3 hours. Nothing else comes close. 3. Tourtière, Quebec's spiced meat pie that the rest of Canada forgot. This one has a special place in Canadian food history, and it belongs on this list not because it disappeared entirely, but because it disappeared from English Canadian kitchens almost completely. Tourtière is a traditional French-Canadian spiced meat pie, with records of the dish going back to 17th century Quebec. The filling is ground beef and pork, seasoned with a distinctive spice blend, cinnamon, cloves, nutmeg, ginger, and black pepper, mixed with mashed potato to bind it, and baked in a double-crust pie. The spices are what make it unlike anything else: savory, warm, deeply aromatic. In Quebec, it is still made every Christmas Eve, eaten after midnight mass, served with pickled vegetables and tomato chutney. It is mandatory. It is non-negotiable. It is Quebec's most beloved food tradition. But outside Quebec? By the 1980s and 90s, tourtière had almost entirely vanished from English-Canadian tables. The spices were considered unusual. The dish seemed too laborious. And without the French-Canadian cultural context, people just didn't know what to do with a savory pie that tasted of cinnamon. That's a tragedy. Tourtière is magnificent. One of the great meat pies in all of world cuisine. The combination of beef, pork, and warm spices in a buttery crust is unlike anything else you'll find on a Canadian dinner table. If you've never made one, make this the winter you start. 2. Hamburger soup, the Canadian winter dish that warmed every kitchen. This is the one that will make the most people nostalgic. Hamburger soup, ground beef browned with onion and garlic, simmered for an hour with canned tomatoes, diced potato, carrot, celery, barley or rice, and beef broth, was one of the most common weeknight dinners in Canada throughout the 1970s. It wasn't fancy. It wasn't trendy. It was just a big pot of soup that could feed a family of 5 and still leave enough for school lunches the next day. Every region had a version. In the Maritimes, it was thicker and relied more heavily on root vegetables. On the prairies, it almost always had barley. In Ontario, the tomato base was richer. In Quebec, the seasoning leaned toward bay leaf and thyme. But the core was universal: ground beef, vegetables, broth. It was the kind of soup that took an hour and cost almost nothing, that made the kitchen steam and fog the windows in January, that got better the second day when the barley swelled and absorbed all the flavor. Today it's been replaced by 1,000 more glamorous soups. But nothing has ever replaced what it felt like to come in from the cold to a bowl of hamburger soup and a slice of buttered bread. 1. Homemade beef and potato meatloaf, Canada's most forgotten comfort food. Here it is, the one that defined an era. Every household in Canada had a meatloaf recipe in the 1970s. Ground beef mixed with breadcrumbs, egg, diced onion, a splash of Worcestershire sauce, and ketchup, shaped into a loaf, topped with a ketchup glaze, and baked at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about an hour. The Canadian version often added grated potato or shredded carrot into the mix, stretching the meat and adding moisture in the same move. The result, when done right, was one of the most satisfying things ever to come out of a Canadian oven. The glaze caramelized. The outside developed a slight crust. The interior stayed dense and juicy, sliced and served with mashed potatoes and green beans. It was the platonic ideal of a 1970s Canadian weeknight dinner. Meatloaf has suffered more than almost any dish from the perception problem. It became a symbol of bad institutional food, of uninspired cooking, of everything food culture spent the last 30 years moving away from. And yet when it's made properly, with real beef, real seasoning, and real care, it is genuinely, deeply delicious. The potato extended Canadian version especially. The grated potato absorbs the meat juices as it bakes, creating a texture that no other meatloaf can match. It didn't disappear because it stopped being good. It disappeared because we stopped believing in it. Start believing again. 10 recipes, an entire decade, a Canadian kitchen that no longer exists, but could. The 1970s weren't a golden age of fine dining. They were an era of practical, generous, unfussy cooking, food made to nourish, to stretch a budget, to feed people you loved without making a production of it. Ground beef was the ingredient that made it all possible. Some of these recipes, the holupsi, the tourtière, the hamburger soup, still live in specific communities and families. Others, the porcupine meatballs, the grape jelly meatballs, the beef and noodle casserole, have almost completely vanished from Canadian kitchens. But none of them are gone yet. The recipes still exist. The ingredients are still in your grocery store. The only thing missing is you, making them. Your grandmother's Thursday night dinner is waiting.